It's time to take on Draco and Narcissa Malfoy in this weekend's Adversary event. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter Wizards Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
This event will be a normal weekend-length event, Friday to Monday, April 30th to May 3rd, 11 a.m. Pacific to 11 a.m. Pacific, as per normal, which is good that we're getting kind of the normal amount, especially because it involves 2 adversaries. I'm glad it's over the weekend. It just gives people potentially more time to get everything done. Once again, I want to thank Silverclaw24 for producing these images. It's amazing how fast the community has put out images, because I know James at Expect to Go puts out images for us, and Plotter 101, you put out images too. So thank you guys for always putting those out, and thank you especially Silverclaw24 for putting the images out that I'll be using in this video. A couple of the normal features from adversary events are back. One being wit sharpening ingredients appearing more on the ground. The master notes on all the extimulos and the wit sharpening potion are all reduced by 25%, which compounds with any other percentage decrease you have to make it even shorter potentially. But during the event, it's an extra 25%. And challenges will reward extra wizarding experience, extra challenge experience, and spell energy, which for me, spell energy is probably the nicest thing to get back, especially when you're at home and you really have no way to replenish the energy. Getting at least a little back from the fortresses lets you go just a little bit longer in the fortresses. In addition to increased Draco as well as Narcissa Malfoy, Death Eaters will be appearing more often in the wild. Normally Death Eaters, you have to wait till the new moon and they appear around that time. Now they're going to be here during this event, so if you haven't gotten that page in Oddities, if you haven't, it's all the way down at the bottom with the 3-headed dog and Azkaban escapee. If you still haven't placed that image all the way to gold, or just to be able to place it again, they will be appearing more often, and there is a task involving them as well. There is one guaranteed fortress fragment, which is the Sword of Gryffindor. If you do a Dark Chamber 1 or higher, so Dark 1 through 5, if you do any of those chambers, you are guaranteed Sword of Gryffindor, and there is actually a task around that. Moving on to the tasks themselves, the first thing you need to do is use Master Notes on 8 potions. When you finish that, you'll get 1 strong extimulo. And reminder to my newer players to use the Master Notes on the potion. It's not brewing, it's brew 8 potions. Would be different where you just need to collect them. You're actually going to have to wait till you get to the tasks when the event actually begins, and then start to brew potions and enter those Master Notes in. Keep in mind the 3 extimulos and the wit sharpening do have a shorter brew time, so you will be able to get through those quicker. So my recommendation is to brew some of those. They'll also help you with the adversaries themselves. So it really, I talk about synergy a lot in my videos. This actually does kind of synergize with what's happening, is you're going to need extimulos potentially and wit sharpenings to fight the adversaries. We need to brew the potions or master notes for this task anyway, and we've got a 25% brew time reduction. So those kind of all work together. I would go ahead and get started on this right away though. Some of the other stuff you could do like a little bit later. Since this may take a little more time, go ahead and get started right away. Even if you're not playing the game and completing the other tasks, it just be brewing all the time and just be checking in real quickly, collecting a potion, and then entering new master notes for the next one. I most likely will be doing probably plain extimulos just because they go the quickest, especially with that 25% reduction. Next up is defeat 10 Death Eaters oddities. It's going to get you 20 spell energy. Now this is where I talked about the increased spawn. These guys will be available throughout the whole event, theoretically. So hopefully finding that many will not be that hard and you get some spell energy back. One nice thing about these is you should be able to just have to encounter 10 and have it done because they won't flee. You just have to fight them. Return 2 Sword of Gryffindor. It'll get you a silver key. Now, when it says Sword of Gryffindor, it doesn't mean you actually have to complete the whole thing. It really just means 2 fragments. So if you go to Dark Chamber 1 or higher, you are guaranteed a Sword of Gryffindor fragment. Now, if for some reason you aren't able to find people to complete Dark 1 or higher, keep in mind you just need to get these fragments, so you could actually use the correct runestones, which would be Mysterious Artifacts runestones. You could use that in lower chambers, essentially, and if you get that drop, it's going to count for this. It's just that you're not guaranteed to get the sword. But you could run a bunch of lower chambers with Mysterious Artifacts runestones and still get to complete this task. It's not requiring you go up to Dark 1 and do it. That's just the easiest way to do it, in the sense that you don't have to do multiple and get some RNG. You could do lower chambers with Mysterious Artifacts runestones and still get your 2 fragments. It just might take you a little longer, but at least it's something you can do solo if you're having trouble finding other people to complete the task with you. Earn 1750 experience through wizarding challenges and adversary chains. It's going to get you 6 ginger root. Again, the challenges is a quicker way to get this experience rather than adversary chains. Keep in mind, this is not wizarding experience. They are asking for challenge experience. Challenge experience cannot be doubled by Barufios, so don't try to use a Barufios to make this go faster. It won't make it go any faster. Challenge experience is boosted during the event, so it should go a little bit quicker. If you're up in those upper chambers doing the Sword of Gryffindor, that's going to get you some decent chunks when you go there. The adversary chains, like I said, smaller chunks, so I would probably do challenges. Even if you're soloing, just do the higher level chambers that you can do, and it's going to get you that challenge experience that much faster. Return 20 artifact fragments from either Draco or Narcissa Malfoy's adversary chain. That's going to get you 2 potent extimulos. Now at the bottom, it's going to make us defeat a bunch of them anyway, so you actually don't even have to really think about this one. If you complete the other tasks in this list, especially the bottom 2 when we get there, those 2, you're going to get the 20 fragments. Every time you defeat Draco or Narcissa, once you make it all the way through their chain, it's going to give you 4 fragments. So you have to make it through 5 chains, essentially. But we're going to have to go through 6 anyway, so you will complete this. Deal 25,000 damage to adversaries. It is going to get you 1 defense against the Dark Arts book. Now to do this, again, the number of chains we're going to have to go through to complete these other tasks, you're going to be either at 25,000 or really close. If you're really close, you would just maybe go fight any adversary. Keep in mind, this is just to adversaries, so if you fight other things, which is very possible during these events, other adversaries appear all the time. When you fight them, it's still helping you complete this task. Again, another task I don't think you need to specifically focus on, just do the other tasks, and this one will pretty much take care of itself. And then here we are in the last 2 tasks. The first one having you defeat Draco 4 times, so you have to make it all the way through his chain and get to Draco and defeat him, get you 1 defense against the Dark Arts book, and then defeat Narcissa Malfoy 2 times, get you 1 defense against the Dark Arts book. So that's 6 chains right there, which kind of takes care of that 25,000 as well as those 20 fragments from their pages. Now the Dracos should be pretty easy. Even brand new people that are fighting adversaries usually can take out Draco with a wit sharpening and an extimulo or 2. Maybe even a healing potion if you need to. Narcissa definitely is a different story. Draco being at the top of the adversary list, meaning easiest, and Narcissa being down at the bottom. As a professor, I don't have her dodge me too much. So for me, even when she does dodge me a couple times, I'll dodge her a couple times, and it kind of evens out and I'm able to defeat her. But I do know that Aurors and Magizoologists have said it can be quite a pain to have her just keep dodging and dodging, especially, and this is when it's really frustrating, is if you use a potion and you do that attack and they dodge, it still takes one of your charges off your potion and you feel like your potion is being wasted, because it is being wasted. So it is nice that we only have to defeat her twice, not even 3 times, or if they had her just 4 times, that would be really frustrating to have to just keep going in and have her dodge us. But hopefully you can get through your 2 times without too much ado. And once you make it through 2 times, the rest of the event, you actually don't have to fight her anymore if you don't want to. If you are able to complete all the tasks on the list, you are going to get 5 defense against the Dark Arts books. You're going to get 60 gold, and then you get some wizarding experience, and then some spell energy as well. But the event's actually not done, because there are these bonus tasks. If you haven't done an Adversaries event the last time or 2, this is something new they've kind of popped in, which is just bonus tasks that, again, are geared toward people that are a little more try-hard and really want to go after adversaries and really grind them out. So if you can see right here, the bonus tasks. The first one being defeat 15 Death Eater oddities. It gets you 1 spell book. Those are the red spell books that are used in your profession tree, and once you've completed profession trees, it's really in that combat adversary tree. It's to start unlocking some of those nodes, is why I need them. So for this task right here, I actually feel like a lot of people would be able to complete this, because again, they don't run, which is really nice. They're not too hard to defeat. Even if you're a little bit lower level, it's not too bad to go ahead and fight these guys. Now, if you're a little bit lower level, you might not actually make it to here, but anybody that can make it to here, defeating 15 of these guys, you could probably do that happenstance as they just pop up if their spawn rate is increased enough where you're seeing them over the weekend, which we have plenty of days to actually get this done once we've completed all the rest of the tasks. So defeating 15 of these, not too much spell energy and not too much trouble to get 1 spell book. The next 2 tasks kind of go hand in hand. One is to defeat 16 Draco or Narcissa, and then the next one is to defeat 10 Draco or Narcissa. Now, even though it says or Narcissa, you could just do all Dracos. This is where I was talking about you don't actually have to keep fighting Narcissa. You would just need to find Dracos, which are preferable anyway because they use less energy, less potion use, and just time. You can just defeat him pretty quickly. to get up to your 6. Now keep in mind, as you build up to that 6, the defeat 10 will also be ticking up. So once you've defeated 6, you don't have to then defeat 10 to get the next reward. Both of them reward spell books. All you have to do is do 4 more after the 6, because it'll already be counting its way up. So when you defeat the first adversary, the first Draco or Narcissa, 1 out of 6 will be reported in the second task, and 1 out of 10 will already be ticked off in the third task. So just to know that you only have to defeat 10 to kind of get all these spell books. If you do manage to get all 3 of these things done, though, there are some kind of final rewards for doing those last 3 tasks, which is 5 more defense against the dark arts books, 40 gold, some more wizarding experience, and some more spell energy. One thing I wouldn't mind seeing, and it's not even something I would necessarily do, is kind of I say diminishing returns. It really wouldn't be diminishing returns. You could just keep it static. I guess you could scale it up. Let me explain, is to continue essentially infinitely giving people a reward for defeating a certain number of whatever the event foundable is. In this case, defeating adversaries. So maybe for after the initial 3 bonus tasks are done, maybe after that, every time you defeat 10 Draco or Narcissus, you get another spellbook, and then the next 10 you get another spellbook, and it would just go on infinitely. So people that do like to grind it out can go ahead and do that. There's no bonus rewards or anything like that. It's just kind of after you're done with this, just an infinitely scalable thing. Now, like I said, you could actually make it go up. You could say defeat 10, get a spellbook, then you have to defeat 11, and then 12 and 13. Kind of like a repeatable quest just during the adversary event. So for people that really do like to go hard at this, it kind of gives them something to work toward instead of just defeating more for the sake of defeating more, to have that extra little bonus thrown at you because you are actually going out and fighting more and more adversaries. Not an idea I have fully fleshed out in my brain about how exactly it would work. I would like something like that. Again, not even something I'd necessarily do, but something for those people that really do like to go full on at these events and go more and more. It's just something to reward them for going a little bit further and a little bit further, but not with like a bonus rewards for completing a set of tests, just kind of an ongoing repeatable thing. Let me know in the comments if you have any good ideas about how that might work, or if that's something you would even participate in. We still have a couple days before the event begins. I guess my only recommendation would be maybe to stock up on some ingredients for extimulos or wit sharpenings, although the wit sharpenings will be on the ground a bit. But the extimulos, maybe save some ingredients so that you can start brewing when the event begins, so you can start putting those master notes in. Other than that, I hope you are stocked up on whatever potions you need to defeat Draco and Narcissa. I know it's something I've been doing for the past couple days, getting up into about the 20s for potents and strongs, and then extimulos I have some. I don't really use them that much. I know a lot of you have a ton more potents and strongs. I've seen, like I talked about in my last video, people in the hundreds of both those potions. That's just something I've never unlocked yet. I generally keep it at a lower amount. As always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Nox.